I really want to cut this bear's face off and make it a new face that's creepier. Many months ago, I found this bear at the thrift store and bought it with the intention of making a new face like the ones that I've been seeing all over TikTok. Since then, it's kind of just been sitting in my closet waiting for a makeover, and today is the day. Lately, I've had a weird obsession with teeth, and I've made a lot of teeth art already, but I can't get the image of this bear with a spiral teeth mouth out of my head, so I just have to make it. If you want to follow along, here are the supplies that I'll be using. Of course, you need a stuffed animal. I'm going to use original Sculpting because it's cheap, and then I'm going to use some tin foil to kind of bulk it out so I don't have to use as much clay, as well as a bowl to make the face kind of concaved. And then instead of sculpting a bunch of teeth, I'm going to use some resin teeth that I got on Amazon, I think. And I'm going to attach them with this bakeable adhesive from Sculpting, and I'll need some tools, of course. This is like a mix of metal, wood, and silicone tools. And to paint it, I'm just going to use some regular craft paint. And to seal it, I'm actually just going to use some Mod Podge, a mixture of glossy and matte Mod Podge. The glossy is to make it look all slimy and gross. To glue it on, I'm going to use E6000 and probably some hot glue. And of course I need scissors to cut the face off, and I'm using my dingy paint brushes that have been sitting in paint water forever to paint the actual face. So now that I've got all my supplies, let's get started. Okay, here's the base. Now it's time to add some clay. I'm going to use my pasta roller to roll it out flat. You can also use like a rolling pin or just your fingers, but because I have this, I'm gonna use it. This clay is like super soft and squishy. Definitely holds your fingerprints a lot, but I like it because it's soft and squishy because then it doesn't hurt my fingers as much to sculpt. But that is a downside, is some people don't like it because it's so squishy and like leaves a lot of fingerprints, and it's like kind of sticky too. Okay, so I've got a few sheets of clay rolled out, and I'm gonna put the excess clay back in the packaging. And it's not air dry clay, so it doesn't need to necessarily be sealed off from air completely, but it's nice to like kind of seal it off so it doesn't collect a ton of dust, because you can see it's already kind of collecting dust. And now I'm just going to start laying down the clay on my base and building it up, and then eventually I'll put the teeth in. Now I'm gonna just use my fingers and probably a tool to smooth this all out. I love this clay because it like smooths out super easy. Okay, the inside is smooth enough for me now, and I'm gonna add some gums in there so it doesn't need to be perfect, and my thumb is thoroughly tired at this point. I think the edge is a little rough. The edge is looking a little rough. I'm probably gonna cut this piece and make a nice uniform lip around it, but first I think I'm gonna add the gums and give my thumb a little bit of a break. This is what it's looking like now. It's pretty heavy, it feels a lot more solid, and it's kind of hard to get in here and smooth everything out because of the concavedness of it. I also cut the edges with my scissors to make it a little cleaner, and I think it looks nicer. I don't know if I should add a lip or just like make a little indentation, and I might add some like spiral texture in there, but I think first I'm gonna add like a little bit of a lip around the edge to separate it from the gums. Okay, here it is with the lip. It's not perfect, but I think it'll look good with like paint and stuff. It's not super smooth yet, but I'm gonna put in the teeth first and then try to maybe smooth some of it out. I got some extra teeth in case these ones are not enough because I want lots of teeth coverage, just full of teeth, lots of teeth. So I guess
it's teeth time.
this oven bake clay adhesive actually doesn't dry until it's baked, so I can go in with a paintbrush and clean it up a little bit. Now that all the teeth are in, I'm gonna try and smooth it out as best I can. Okay, I think that's good enough. I'm gonna stop touching it so I don't leave nail prints or fingerprints in it, and I'm gonna stick it in the oven and hopefully it doesn't burn. It's all baked and ready to paint. This is already proving to be kind of a pain in the butt to try to get the paint in between all these teeth and at these weird angles, and this is only the first layer. I'm not worrying too much about getting paint on the teeth because I think I can scrape it off, but that's also going to be very tedious, scraping off the paint on every single tooth. If you're impatient like me and don't like to wait for acrylic paint to dry, I would highly suggest getting one of these heat guns, because the heat helps the paint dry faster. Just be careful because it does get kind of hot. So about here is when I realized that the black wash was not looking good and I hated it, and so I started frantically trying to paint over it, and it just looked awful, and I got frustrated because now I'm gonna have to clean the teeth all over again. This is the point in the project where I go a little crazy because it's not going exactly as planned. So basically I had to save it with some pastels, and now I think it looks pretty good. So next I just have to seal it, and then we can finally cut the bear's face off and give it its new face. here it is all sealed. The glossy Mod Podge makes it look way like slimier and creepier and more like a mouth. Now I'm anxious to cut the face off of that bear and stick it on there. Wait, maybe I should give it a bath first. Okay, so final thoughts. First of all, thank you for making it this far in the video. This is my first YouTube video, so it's not perfect, and neither is this bear. If I were to do this over again, I would do a few things differently. You can see some of the tin foil on the edges, and so I really should have painted that black before I glued it in. I also should have left more space between the teeth so that it would have been easier to paint. Also definitely shouldn't have done that black wash, but oh well. Overall, I'm pretty dang happy about this, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. I also have a TikTok and an Instagram that I post on regularly, and if you came here from there, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it, and welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. I also, really quick before I leave, I do have an Etsy and a Patreon, and if you want to get some of my art from there, the Patreon has a print and sticker club where you can get art from me each month, and it's Patreon exclusive right now, so you can only get that art on Patreon. And my Etsy is full of stickers, prints, and other art that I've made, and I've actually made some stickers and prints of this bear. So if you want one of them, they should be up on Etsy right now. And I'll put a link for that in the description. If you're making art while watching this video and want to share it, you can also post it on my Discord, and I'll have a link to that as well. And also, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to my new YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching the video. And I'll see you guys next time!